Imagine being trapped on a shrinking island where the ocean isn't just rising, it's hunting. The silent tide has swallowed the coastlines, turning familiar geography into a deadly archipelago of isolated pockets of survival. You are marooned, cut off from the mainland, and surrounded by waters that hide not just drowning hazards, but desperate raiders, mutated marine life, and the crushing psychological weight of knowing there is nowhere left to run. Welcome to Marooned, the third pulse-pounding installment in Stacey Upton and Mike Kraus's The Silent Tide series. If you love claustrophobic post-apocalyptic survival, nautical disaster thrills, and stories that explore the raw, unfiltered resilience of families pushed to the absolute brink by nature itself, this audiobook will completely consume you. It is a masterclass in survival fiction, blending the visceral terror of a drowning world with the profound, heartwarming reality of human connection against the tide. The narrative kicks off with our protagonists having survived the initial floods, only to find their sanctuary compromised by a new catastrophic surge or a hostile faction seizing the last dry ground. The atmosphere is thick with the salt spray of churning waves, the groan of submerged infrastructure, and the creeping dread of knowing that every high tide brings them closer to extinction. Upton and Kraus excel at capturing the psychological toll of isolation, making every creaking dock, every distant engine sputter, and every shadow beneath the surface feel like a direct threat to their existence. At the core of the book's massive appeal is its spectacular island siege trope and the brilliant nautical survival dynamic. This isn't just about scavenging for food, it's about managing fresh water, reinforcing failing barriers, and using maritime ingenuity to outsmart both the environment and human predators who view mercy as weakness. Watching the characters reverse-engineer desalination systems, navigate treacherous currents in makeshift vessels, and use their wits to defend their shrinking perimeter is incredibly gripping. The audiobook narration brings the visceral impact of the struggle to life, making the crash of waves against concrete, the frantic heartbeat of a parent on the edge, and the heavy silence of a world underwater feel incredibly real and deeply immersive. But beyond the terrifying environment and the survival mechanics, the soul of The Silent Tide lies in its characters and the heavy burden of protection. The protagonists aren't invincible superheroes. They are terrified, determined individuals pushed to their absolute breaking point. The emotional anchor of the story is their fierce, unbreakable bond with each other, a partnership built on love, mutual respect, and a shared desire to keep their family above water. The audiobook format elevates these intimate, heartbreaking moments, making the quiet conversations in damp shelters and the devastating losses of safe havens feel just as impactful as the violent, desperate escapes across open water. As the plot accelerates toward its climax, the pacing becomes utterly breathless. A massive storm or a coordinated attack by a rival faction traps the group on their final refuge, forcing them into a desperate, high-stakes confrontation. The finale is a breathtaking display of tactical brilliance, overwhelming improvisation, and raw, unbridled courage. The protagonists must use every hidden trick, every overloaded pump, and every ounce of their will to hold the line against the encroaching sea. The payoff is spectacular, delivering a massive, hard-earned victory that proves humanity's will to survive is stronger than the tide. Marooned, The Silent Tide Book 3 is a triumph of the post-apocalyptic thriller genre. It is smart, terrifying and unapologetically intense. Stacey Upton and Mike Kraus have crafted a sequel that perfectly captures the thrill of the ultimate underdog holding the line. Plug in your headphones, check your life vest, and join the survivors. The water is rising, but their resolve is higher.